Alright TJ, quick update here. I have fit everything and marked everything that I can possibly see where when this comes off I can do all this work. I put these rails in here and that worked out beautifully. These bolsters are going to sit right on top of those rails and it's exactly to the millimeter of the exact same height. I mean, they're absolutely perfect. I've marked marked a lot of stuff. I've got to wash some plates off here. I've got some bolt or something inside there that's loose. I've kind of laid all this out to see what I need to do there. I've marked over here to where this needs to be cut while this is off. I'll go in there and weld all that down through there now. Made some marks in here that need to be done. Marked all of this, how it needs to come apart. Go ahead and put the cap on it. Went ahead and cut all this back off, all this off. Marked all of this. I'm going to pie cut that, lean that in a little bit. I'm going to have to cut that and move that plate in I put there. It was touching. I'm going to put some holes in there for your window, rear window regulator, and a little work there. I've done the same inside here. I've marked all this stuff and this stuff and over there, and just a little bit of everything. I've marked in here where I need to prep the inside of that. But those bolsters in there really worked out good, and they'll just sit right there. So so far so good. The wiper system I've got laid out back here in the back. Let me go show you it right quick. So I've taken that inner cowl plenum area and I've whittled it down. I've actually had it on there, and then I checked, and my larger wiper system will go in there. I'll have to turn it upside down where normally it would have been the actuator and all be at the bottom. It's actually going to be inside the cabin now. So we'll just have to seal that off so water gets in there. And then I think I'll be able to build that plenum back and use this for your fresh air, which is right here. You got all that filter box in there, and I've got your computer just loose and out of the way. I'll probably put a plate on it here, and then right here I'll come in here and probably cut an access panel inside there and put some kind of trim around it to keep water out of it. And I had to put a drain system in this, and hopefully be able to use that original fresh air. Alright TJ, I think this is the last time it's going on. Show you what all we've got. Removed all the extra stuff on the front, welded that solid, got that somewhat fabricated in there. I've really worked on this post and added a plate to where we're going to hook that post to right there. Still got to do a little trim on the end of that. Got our support beam in. Got to add a little piece to that strut. Cleaned all that up and getting ready for the merge of the two. Got all that cut off. The tops of both of these plated where I can build off of those, which I put supports inside. Same for over here. That little plate's in ready. I made it big enough where I can weld back through that hole, and then I've added to the body in the same spot. So so far so good on that. I just got this corner all rebuilt. All this was rusted out and gone all the way across the back, rusted out, and I put the piece in there and that piece over there on that side. Still got a little bit of work to do here, but I'm gonna wait till I get it on the car. That's for aligning that quarter panel. My support bolster under the bottom down here that runs full length, and inside here I added a plate here and another plate to get inside to that back of that hinge mounting surface, so that'd be real strong. And then when I weld, I'll be welding right down the edge of that. Got all that cleaned up and that washed off. Same over here. Everything's in weld through primer. So so far so good on this as well. So I'm fixing to set it on there. Alright TJ, this is the final set, and I've got it where I'm tightening it up here, tightening it up there, right against that seal right there. Both sides are right on the money. I'm fixing to install a little threaded place here, and possibly here, I don't know about here yet, but right here, that I'll be able to move that up and down and get that post, both those posts out in exactly where they need to go. Then I've got to do a little bit of a twisting on this post to get it in its exact spot. But so far so good. Just want to do a quick little update on it. This is one of the most crucial parts of the build. What I do right here, we're going to have to deal with for all the way through. So I got to make sure I have that post in the exact location. So what I'll do is I'll come in here and one more time set that post, that door to that post right on the money in every way. And then wherever that comes out at, then I'll adjust these two accordingly, and then all my other panels will fit. But the post setting right now is the very much so the most important thing that I've got to really try to get my mind around and think three-dimensional here to get it in the right location. I want to show you what I'm doing here. I've got that body set as low as I can get it in the spot that's the least amount of work. And that being said, and I've raised it just a little bit, but it makes it where I can work that right in there real easy. On the other side, that's all just going to be pinch weld back together. I've kind of mocked up all this air conditioner, and I can work through most of all of it. Seems like the wiper system, I'm locating the roof in relationship to the floor, and I've got to go over just about 5 millimeters, but that's what all these 3 plumbs are for, mainly the 2 outer ones for this point of it. And I've got those dropped off that rail. I've got it sitting level. I've measured those out that they're in the exact spot in relationship to the roof, and then I'll just measure off there and then move that accordingly. And then once I have that set where I need it to be, then I will set up my hood gap to make sure I've got about 5 millimeters, or be exactly 5 millimeters on each side of that hood, in relationship to the door, in relationship to the post. And then once I know that number, then I'll know where the hood's got to sit, side to side, and I've got it locked down front to rear, according to the best wheel location in the wheel houses, front and rear. So I've got this front down, and I have washed everything off the top of this. With that being there, sitting here, I've got to have it as low as possible, and to make that fender meet that door edge right there, the 5 millimeter gap, I've been bringing this down, getting it as low as I can get it. So I've washed off these plates right here, and all the top of that, and I'm really close. I've actually got it where it's working, clearing enough. I've had to cut the fenders out quite a bit, but to make that work. So now I need to see if I can get the hood down that far without having to really gouge this hood out, because there's some stuff under there I've had to move and remove. But without doing everything I've done, I don't know the exact location of that hood. So I'm going to ease this hood down on here, set this other fender up, get that top pulled over a little bit, and then start easing this hood out and start whittling it out until I can get it whittled out to where it'll set down on there. And if it'll set down and line up with my fenders without touching anywhere inside here, other than the middle where I'll just cut out, I can set it there. But if I can't get it to close down enough to where it'll line up with the fenders, I won't be able to. I know right off the bat I'm gonna have to get rid of some of this, because I've just really got it razor thin right there. So just want to give you an update of where I'm at. This is a pretty crucial point right here. This is going to dictate the ride height. So I'll set the entire outer sheet metal ride height in relationship to the Hellcat by how it sets on that hood, and drop it down as far as I can get it. And then if it all clears, that's where we'll put it. Then we'll just make the fenders around the wheels and all that work as we go along.